Hello, and welcome back to the world of Wysteria. This afternoon, I will be reading chapter 41. This is the second to the last chapter, and this is a relatively long chapter, and will be broken up into 5 parts, a couple of which will be rather short. Wysteria, chapter 41. "Good morning, Mom," said Will, as he entered the kitchen the next morning. His mother, who sat at the table, instantly stood. "So, what happened last night?" she asked, anxiously. "Nothing," he answered. "Not yet." He walked to the counter, poured himself a cup of coffee, then took a seat. "Then Emily's still there?" she asked, sitting back down. "Yes," he said, "but we are going after her tonight." "We?" Since she worked today and had to leave soon, Will gave her a quick version of the story, omitting the specifics of the rescue plan, as well as his conversation with Lily, telling her they would talk when she got home. Later that evening, as he and his mother ate dinner, Will explained in more detail how they planned to free Emily. "It all sounds very dangerous," she said when he'd finished. "At least you won't be alone. Charlotte must be a brave young woman." "Yes," he replied, "very brave. There's really nothing they can do to me. Nothing serious, anyway. But if things go wrong and she's captured, she might end up in the same boat as Emily. She's taking more risk than I am." Several times during the day, the horrible thought that Charlotte might not be the loyal friend she seemed had crossed his mind. Will dismissed it each time, of course, for though she hadn't been entirely truthful with Emily, given what Lily had revealed, one probably couldn't blame her. If it were simply a coincidence that Emily's new boyfriend turned out to be one of her ex-flames, telling her might put a strain on their relationship. At the very least, it would be uncomfortable for both of them. Was he going to tell Emily? He'd seen them together many times now. Charlotte's affection for Emily was clearly genuine, and he'd seen her in action, taking on and defeating 2 different villains in the square, at great risk to herself. Will would be willing to bet his life on her loyalty. It was not his life being wagered, however. "I also talked with Lily last night," he said. He briefly told his mother about her during their long discussion the day before. "Lily," she murmured. "The barmaid, the woman who came from your dreams?" "Yes," he replied, impressed that she could keep all of the characters in his complicated tale straight. "We had an interesting chat about Charlotte." Will recounted their conversation, stating what Lily had told him, but curious to hear his mother's unbiased thoughts on the matter, without expressing any doubts he might have about Charlotte's intentions. "Do you believe her?" she asked. "Yes," he said. "I know it's the truth." She nodded thoughtfully. "Do you think there's any chance Charlotte might still want you for herself?" "I've always sensed some attraction," he confessed. "But now that she knows Emily and I are together..." "Are you wondering if you can trust her?" she asked him. "Is that why you're telling me this?" She knew him too well. Maybe, he said. It's unthinkable that she'd try to overtly sabotage the rescue. But you're worried there might be a part of her that would like to see it fail, she said, finishing his thought. I don't know, he replied. I just want to be absolutely sure I can rely on her tomorrow. There's too much at stake. His mother took a moment to consider her response. Love can do strange and unexpected things to people, she observed. I don't know that she loves me, said Will. Desire, then, love's selfish sister. What she said was true, of course. History was replete with examples. The problem is, he said, I can't get to Nathan's world without her. And even if I could, I can't do this alone. I need her help. What do your instincts tell you? She asked. Since your options seem limited, you'll just have to trust your feelings. Will had to smile. That's exactly what Lily said to me. She sounds like a very smart woman, his mother replied. And that concludes part 1, and we'll return right away with part 2.